This probably isn't going to make a whole lot of sense, especially if you're a therapist, a counselor, understand the aspect of mental health and those things. I'm going to tell you, I don't care what you're going through, whether it makes sense to anybody else or not, you need to tell somebody. You need to tell somebody, not who's a therapist, not who's a counselor. You need to tell somebody who you love, who you can trust, and who you can ultimately be yourself with, without judgment, without scrutiny, without criticism, without being put down. Now, I'm not saying you can't talk to them and they can't give you any type of insight. I'm not going to tell you they're also going to understand. But you do need to have somebody to be able to openly communicate with and be honest with, regardless of what it is you're going through, even if it is something that's just emotional and it's triggering. And I say that because I think of things when I was a cutter, having suicidal thoughts and ideation, seeing that men are the biggest statistic when it comes to suicide. Women as well can take their lives. Anybody is capable of taking their life. The age does not matter, their background does not matter, their ethnicity does not matter, their financial situation does not matter. Anybody is capable of taking their own life, and that is a scary thing to think about. You never truly know what anybody else is going through in full. So trust when somebody is telling you, pay attention when things are happening. When you know somebody inside and out and they trust you with information that they don't tell anybody else. And same for you. When you are going through something that you know seems impossible to get out of, where it seems like it's never going to end. It's something that's been going on forever, and it's so stressful and overwhelming that you don't want to take it anymore. Talk to somebody. The last thing we need is for somebody else to take their life and affect and have an impact on other people, because your life is not just lived for you. Your life is lived for other people, and it's not going to make it any better or any easier. It's actually going to make things a whole lot worse. If you happen to have kids or family or anything like that, whether you're financially responsible for them or not, you have some type of value in their life. You have to understand that. And if you take your life, not only are you affecting yourself and the things around, you're affecting other people. If you are a parent and you take your life, you now affect your kids. Your kids grow up without a mother or a father. They don't get to experience certain things that other people do because they do have their mother and father. If you are the sole financial provider of your household and you decided to take your life, now other people's lives are affected because you were the main provider and everybody relied on you and what it is that you were doing. If you weren't planting the right seeds and teaching people what was going on, now you left them with the burden of what you were going through because they don't have the information. So tell somebody what you're going through. I don't care what you deal with. I don't care about, what's the term? Isolating people to a degree, cornering people, and making them feel bad and stuff like that. If there is truth behind what it is that you are going through, please tell somebody. It's like when you've gone through abuse of some sort. You've gone through a point of being abused where you're isolated and it's just you and your abuser. You can't tell anybody what you're going through. They might not listen even if you did tell them and stuff like that. That's a scary place to be in because now you literally are for yourself. And the person on the listening end, know and pay attention to when people are really going through something versus when it's just, I'm feeling a high strung emotion right now. Because there's a big difference, and you do have to understand that. If you know your best friend, if you know your mother, if you know your brother or your sister, or you know your kids or your partner, know that they are actually going through something. Not that it is just a short-term temporary emotion. Not that it's just something that they've done all their life, so you know that they're basically crying wolf. They're always complaining, they're always whining, something's always wrong with their life, and you know that is normal. That is totally different. When you know somebody who is on top of their stuff in life, for the most part, and they all of a sudden get quiet, or they're openly telling you like, hey, this has been happening, and nobody is listening, just listen. There's not even a real explanation behind it. Listen to what other people are truly going through when you know them. And even if you don't fully know them, know that they are going through something, and anybody has the capacity to cause harm, whether it's to self or to somebody else. At the end of the day, when it comes down to everything in regards to mental health, sometimes we just need somebody to listen. Somebody who makes us feel like we're heard. Somebody who feel like they are there unconditionally, who love us, support us, and accept us for who we are no matter what. Sometimes that's all we need, and that can stop somebody from taking their life. Just be understanding and open-minded and pay attention when somebody is going through something, whether they communicate it or not. Because everybody is going through something to some degree, but you never want to get to a point where somebody's there and nobody listens and they decide to take things on a much deeper level where they now take their life. And if you are that person who is at that point where you feel like there's no other alternative but to take your life, talk to somebody. There are people that do understand you and love you and accept you for who you are, and what you are going through is something similar to somebody else. It will be very unique to you because you are your own individual person. There is no other person like you. But there are people that have gone through similar experiences that will be very, very, very close to what you are currently going through. That can actually help. That can actually be there. That can actually be something that you need in this time of need. So be open with yourself. Be open with your mind, body, spirit, heart for help, for support, for love. And for the person on the other end, be that person for somebody who can be that support, that safe place, and provide unconditional love for somebody.